What's good, my people? Marcus Smith II here, 6-year NFL veteran. The Circle of M is in Arizona. We big time in Arizona, man, in Super Bowl weekend. We just came from an elementary school, talking to the elementary school kids and actually just having fun with them and kind of like just being a part of their day and changing their mindset and talking through mental health, talking through just life and different choices. But I wanted to really come on and talk about, what our plan was and how we stay mentally fit on what we speak to them on, each and every day.
Yeah, so everybody, my name is Zach Moore, retired NFL veteran of 6 years. Like Marcus said, we've been, as far as today, been doing some community work with some kids at a middle school. It was very fun atmosphere. The kids brought the energy. Being around them, feeding off that energy, kind of, to me personally, that keeps me, mentally intact. And one thing I always like to put myself in, the mind frame I put myself in, especially when I go to these schools or do these events, I always think to myself, if I was these kids, what type of energy would I want these professional players to bring? Oftentimes you'll see guys that they're just there just to be there. They're not really interacting with the kids. They're not getting to know them. They're not bringing their energy. So I try to bring my energy at every event. And also, leave some words of wisdom for them to help their growth.
What was your message to them, for your words of wisdom? Because we all know that we do everything backwards. We said this before. We do everything backwards. It's usually physical first and then mental. And we always talk about the mental first and then physical. You talk about how it goes hand in hand, regardless. What was kind of like your message with them today?
The biggest takeaway, the word perseverance. Like I told them, I'm a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 49, and I'm also from the south side of Chicago, which is a very dangerous and rough neighborhood. And if you'd have told me at the age of 10 years old that, hey, little man, when you're 24 years old, you'll be a world champion in the NFL, I'd have looked at you crazy. But, that goes with, perseverance. Stand on your script. That's why I like to tell people, stick to your script. That'll be different. Don't be afraid to do what you're passionate about, what you feel like is going to get you further in life. You don't have to be a follower in the crowd all the time. So just keep that mindset, of daring to be different, because the difference makers are the people that really run the world. You see all these new concepts and new technologies, new innovative ideas being created. That's because people dare to be different. If everybody was the same, this place we wouldn't evolve as humans. So
That's a good note, man. I'm here with my guy Zach, and we continue to talk to kids. Now we're going to be talking to the high school. We're going to be doing some backpack giveaways for them, and our message to the high school is a little different because they're in high school and they are going to be going out to the real world. So more so with the kids, you can kind of like give them a spill of what success is and dare to be different and dream and things of that nature. And they can really take heed of what we're saying, kind of meditate on that because they got time to meditate. Now you got high school kids, the real world is going to happen real fast. So what would your message be to the high school kids?
now it's more imperative now than ever to really hone in on what you feel like your purpose is, and that extends beyond high school. Some people push the narrative that you have to go to college. Not necessarily true. There's tons of job opportunity that doesn't require that. So you really have to give yourself mentally to what you need to do to shape your life. Because the cliche term, life is what you make it. Whether it's pursuing a college degree or going to a trade school, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, dare to be different. You don't have to follow the norm. There are plenty of millionaires and billionaires that were successful at whatever they chose to do without, going that route of continuing school. But either or is not a bad thing. But just know, graduating high school at 18, it's a completely different ball game. You're an adult now, so you have to conduct yourself as such. You can't really, play under the rules of, being a, young kid anymore because the stakes are much higher. So you got to move with purpose and you got to move, some more smart.
Great advice right there, man. Dare to be different. You can be different. It's okay to go do a trade or go do something that may take 2 years to do,
Yeah.
or a certification, right? Get into what you want to do right away, man. And remember that through that, there are trials, there are tribulations that come along with that. But that's why we have to be firm up here first, and then the physical will follow.
And in conjunction to that, you don't have to have it all figured out. You're still young, even though you're considered an adult. You're still young, so you don't have to have it all figured out. Even some grown-ups that, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, they don't even have it all figured out. Like, nothing is completely linear. You're gonna learn, in peaks and valleys, and you're gonna get to a certain point, and it's gonna drop down, and you're gonna get to another certain point. It's progress in life is not linear, so keep that in mind. What people have is they feel like they are lost because they don't have everything figured out, and that's completely not the case. You just haven't quite put the pieces of the puzzle together. That takes some time.
So that's the circle of them. You have it, man. People in my circle talk about mental health, talk about life, and we unmask the feelings that cause anxiety, depression. We are not therapists, but we are people in the community. We are people who can help you continue this fight and continue to push people forward so they can be the best version of themselves. Put the bigger picture together. Stay uprooted in the word too, man. Your creator is everything. And we are out, man.